And then our Zinc community is what we call it, is 11 counties throughout Central California. So pretty much all of the Central Valley, and then Santa Clara County and SLO counties. And so we're able to offer really high leverages. I am a direct point of contact for anyone who's in the community. We're really trying to build essentially a community of people who are in the real estate space. So whether you're an investor, you're a broker, realtor, wholesaler in construction, we want to create that space and host events where people can come and network and make friendships, build those relationships, and then they're able to help each other out as well.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. Today's guest, Claire Kasaian, is the Community Director at Zinc Financial. She oversees engagement across 11 counties in California. Zinc is a lender for single-family investors in the 1 to 4 unit space. Claire, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction.
Thanks for coming on here. Great to meet you. And we were talking before hopping on here about what makes Zinc unique. But before we get to that, I want to ask you how you got started with Zinc and in the real estate space.
Yeah, so actually, so I'm born and raised in Fresno, California. When my family originally came here, we had farmland, and now that's commercial property. There's several businesses on that. So I kind of grew up around seeing the back end of commercial real estate, and being or having my family be property owners. And then moved to LA, kind of went through school and all of that, was more in marketing and advertising, and then or I guess it would be this past May, I was reached out to by Zinc when they were really forming and starting the Zinc community, and was recruited, and now I'm here.
I want to get a little bit granular, if we can, about some of what makes Zinc unique. And we were talking about this before hopping on here. Um, you know,
Yeah.
Being able to raise the capital, being hyper focused on California, and then identifying that 1 to 4 unit space. To me, this is a unique niche to be in, because it's clear Zinc has identified exactly what they're going to be best at and be dominant in their space.
Yeah. Fix and flips are really our bread and butter. We do those all the time. We're really focused, really just in California. And then our Zinc community is what we call it, is 11 counties throughout Central California. So pretty much all of the Central Valley, and then Santa Clara County and SLO counties. And so we're able to offer really high leverages. I am a direct point of contact for anyone who's in the community. We're really trying to build essentially a community of people who are in the real estate space. So whether you're an investor, you're a broker, realtor, wholesaler in construction, we want to create that space and host events where people can come and network and make friendships, build those relationships, and then they're able to help each other out as well.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors, working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Now, when we talk about the different types of investor strategies in the 1 or 4 unit space, fix and flip being, I would say, the one that gets a lot of attention, but you've also got STRs, you've got buy and hold, you've got, corporate housing, and 1 to 4 units. So that could be anything from a single family home to a quadplex. Other than fix and flip loans, I know right now there's a lot of development. We were talking before hopping on here in like ADUs, right? And in alternative housing as well. Are you seeing more uh, loans, but also more investor activity across some of these other spaces as well, in addition to fix and flip?
Definitely ADUs. I'm personally working on a project where we had a borrower who did a fix and flip with us and now is trying to build ADUs in the backyard. And we're able to fund that. And so definitely an uptick in ADUs. And one thing that I've also noticed, there's been so many people have gotten in started in real estate and they're wanting to be investors, that now people are almost kind of struggling to find properties. And so we've seen something I've seen very interestingly. I have was talking with our CFO about this, where there'll be 2 houses on 1 lot, and they'll try and split up the lot, so they'll only be buying 1 house on the lot. And so that's something that's very new that we're seeing, that's something we're not really able to do. We'll lend on the lot. We won't lend on just 1 house or 1 building that's on the
On a
lot.
lot. When
Mhm.
when we talk about, the affordable housing crisis and people, in California and so many states, I'm originally from northern New Jersey, trying to find a way into home ownership. One of the solutions in places where you can is development. And I've seen,
Mhm.
being licensed in Texas as a realtor, there's now, I would say, increased interest from newer developers in, developing an infill lot or developing 1 or 2 homes. Are you seeing any of that in California, this ground up construction? I'm worried as maybe there might have been more fix and flip happening in years past. Now I'm seeing more ground up construction happening.
Yeah, actually kind of both. So in specifically around the Fresno area, I believe there's around 40 developments being built. A lot of people from the Bay Area or from LA where housing is very unaffordable. It's really hard to buy a house. People are coming now to the Central Valley because it's much more affordable. But then also somehow that's making fix and flips more. People are doing more fix and flips.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to figure out that streamline of how that works, but it does make sense in the way that if those developments, they have a lot of first time home buyer perks. But then if it's a family and maybe they're not first time home buyers or they can't get into a new development, then these fix and flips are able to give people nice housing that's not super expensive. It's not a brand new build. So there is that kind of streamline.
In Fresno, in the Bay Area, what's the average price of, let's call it, like a rental grade home, a 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom home? Of course, there's going to be some variance, but are we talking like $1.2 billion? Are we talking $800,000? Because I know in Texas, you can get a brand new like DR Horton or Lennar home in many cases for like 300 grand, which is mind blowing. It kind of makes it difficult to flip when you got brand new homes at that point.
Yeah, I know one of the newer developments that's coming up, the lowest there's different like levels, I guess, of the homes, and the lowest level beginner home is I think around 350 to 400. I'm not 100% sure what it would be kind of in the Bay Area. I know a lot more than that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've seen some houses that were fixed that we've lent for fix and flips, and they'll buy them at 150, 200,000, and then they're sold at kind of that same price, the
This
300 to
is
350.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
this is good to hear because I think a lot of folks, when they're thinking of California, they're thinking of like Orange County, and they're thinking of areas where, the average home price is, above 1.2, $1.4 million. And they're thinking, well, I can't afford to live in California. But then hearing you talk about this, it does seem like there's other options other than that. And I think when we talk about flippers specifically being active in these other areas, there's plenty of deals to be had, especially if you've got the knowledge of the different markets within California.
Yeah, and then I mean, not to be biased, because I am originally from Fresno and born and raised in the Valley, but we're an hour and a half away from the gates of Yosemite. We're 2.5 hours to 3 hours from the Bay Area and our closest beach, and then 3.5 to 4 hours from LA. So it really is, even though our summers are very hot, it is a great area, and you're able to get to a lot of different areas or different places in California really quickly.
I've got a granular Fresno question. Forgive me for being a little bit ignorant here. What's the culture like in Fresno? What's the main industry? I'm thinking California, there's probably a lot of tech. What's Fresno like?
Everyone's a farmer. It's a lot of agriculture. We are starting to get some more tech, but it still very much is a lot of agriculture.
Okay, so completely opposite spectrum. That's good to hear as well. Again, when I think of California, I'm automatically going in one direction. So it's agricultural. Speaking of agricultural, are there interests from that community, the farm community, right, in investing in some of these other investment avenues when we talk about like ground up construction, or even putting ADUs onto the land perhaps as a way to generate a second source of income for themselves?
You know what? That's a good question. I would love to learn more about that. That's something that we so at Zinc, we really won't lend on anything over 2 acres, because once you get over 2 acres, that's when sometimes you get into wells and septic. You
Right.
get depending if it's in a like if it's surrounded by ag, you start getting into that territory, and there's different laws and regulations. So we really try and stay 2 acres and under. If it's a well, we'll make an exception. Septic is a money pit.
Yeah.
That can be so much money, so add up so quickly. Um, but we really will try and focus in on an area where there's a Starbucks nearby, or there is a little bit some sort of a community. We try not to do anything that's like right next to railroad tracks or across the street from a cemetery that's in the middle of nowhere. We try and keep it so it's a house that like a blue collar, true middle class family would want to live in.
When I was living in Texas, I lived on a ranch, multiple acres. We had septic. I was living in an ADU, and this got me thinking, like, hey, this is this huge opportunity out here for more of this. And I
Mhm.
don't really know if there is more interest from folks in more rural areas in doing that type of thing. But I do know that certainly it's not getting any cheaper. Tone ranches in Texas, I imagine it's the same thing in California. So more
Mhm.
people thinking like real estate investors. I do want to ask you, is there a typical avatar or profile of someone who is an investor in California, or is it across the board? Is it people who are full-time investors? Is it people who are part-time? Do they have, certain tendencies looking at certain markets, or is it, different for each person?
It's across the board. I have some investors that I work with who are fresh out of college. They're general contractors. They wanna get started in investing. We have people who've been doing it their entire lives, and this is truly what they do for a living, or people who have other full-time jobs, and they're doing this on the side. We work with some people who do 10 plus flips a year to people who do 1 to 2 a year.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
I want to, if we can, dive into the different types of products that are available for folks. And then if we can, a little 101 on what each one is and what it maybe takes to get qualified. Let's start with
Yeah.
fix and flip. What is a fix and flip loan? What's the typical timeline, and what does it take for someone to get qualified for a fix and flip loan with Zinc?
Yeah, so in our Zinc community, we really streamline it. It's a quick process. Normally, once we get all necessary documents from the borrower, and we really only require your loan app, driver's license, entity docs if you're closing under an entity, and then we have a rehab SOW. And then any insurance or escrow contacts that you want to use. So we try and keep it really quick. Once we get all those documents, we can normally fund within 7 to 10 business days. Our, loans are normally 9-month terms, we can go up to 12.
Hmm.
So a fix and flip loan will be the same thing as a bridge with rehab. So a bridge with rehab is when you start as a fix and flip, and then you're gonna hold it and turn it into a rental property.
Now, fix. I was unaware that fix and flip 9 months seems like more than enough time to do a flip. Is that typically the timeline, or are people trying shooting for shorter than that?
People wanna do shorter than that because the longer they hold on to the property, the more money they're losing. They're having to pay interest every month. So they're really trying to get in and out of them as quick as they can.
When we talk about bridge loans, and thank you for bringing that up because I've always been curious, how these loans really what happens, because you go into it thinking I'm
Mhm.
going to do a flip, the property's sitting there, something happens, there's increased time that you're needing to hold on to it. Is there one reason or a handful of reasons why people start looking at bridge loans, or is it different in every case? I'm curious what your perspective is on how investors find themselves needing a bridge loan.
At least, for us in our situation with our investors, they'll do a bridge loan. So there's a stabilized bridge and then a bridge with rehab. They'll do so a DSCR, debt service coverage ratio, is when you're going to have a rental property. So you can't, or at least we don't fund rehab with a DSCR. So you do a bridge with rehab, and then that loan bridges. So a fix and flip loan, and then it bridges into a DSCR. So if they need to do rehab on the property, that's when they would do a bridge with rehab.
Got it.
And then there's a stabilized bridge where there's no rehab. It's just they're kind of are wanting to hold on to the property a little bit, or if they are going to be doing the rehab themselves, or for whatever reason, they just need to hold the property for a few months and then put it into a DSCR. There's a few reasons why they would wanna do that. One reason that we probably see the most often is because they don't want to use our rehab financing, or they have someone else that they wanna go with, and so then they are just holding the property, but we're doing the loan for the property. They're paying us the monthly interest payments, and then that'll go into a DSCR, and then we'll help them fund their long-term loan.
Thank you for that explanation because I've heard people talk about bridge loans as if it's, something where that's like their back's up against the wall and they have to get the bridge loan. But it's clear from the way you broke it down that this might be something that investors utilize intentionally, right? To bridge the gap between the rehab portion of it and when they're long term holding it.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure there's definitely circumstances where investors or, people will be backed up against the wall, and we hope we never I hope that would never happen to anyone, and I know it does, but, at least how we sell our bridge loans is that we're giving them a space to hold their loan until they're ready for the DSCR.
I want to ask you, if I can, maybe a granular question about how long these flips are sitting in California. I've seen them in Texas sit for months. Beautiful flips,
Mhm.
which is not good. But
Yeah.
I've seen some investors who've been able to identify niches that have been successful for them. I know someone who's gone from flips into infill lots and ground up construction on a deal by deal basis. Are flips flying off the shelves in the markets that you're active in? Are some of them sitting? What is it like once people have done the rehab and they're ready to take a property to market?
I know the average days on market right now is around 31 days. So some properties are going to fly off. They'll be sold within a week or two, and then some will sit longer. I think it depends also where the property is, what's been done to the property, what the obviously, of course, what the selling price is. But so
Yeah.
there's a few different variables. But yeah, the average day on market's around 31 days right now.
That sure beats 90 or 120 days. So 31, that sounds like a good exit for me. We are coming
Mhm.
up on time here though, Claire. Where can folks go if they're interested in reaching out to you and your team, or they like to get some more information about Zinc Financial?
Yeah, of course. So we have our Zinc Financial website, which is zincfinancial.com. My phone number is 559-389-7101. And then if anyone wants to email me, my email is Claire, Claire .k@zinc.net. And then Zinc is ZINC.
Claire, thank you so much for coming on the show here today.
Thank you, Dylan. I appreciate it.
Thanks for joining us for today's show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing on your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. You can also check out the show's notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and even how to work with me directly one-on-one. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. See you on the next show.